Here in the United States, children are born with minor deformities that can be easily fixed by doctors. But for kids in third world countries, they're left untreated, leading to years of bullying and abuse. Now, thanks to third world states, children.
Don Hudson, Kim Fisher, and Dan Pope. Good for Utah.
Every year in the United States, children are born with minor deformities that can be easily fixed by doctors. But for kids in third world countries, they're left untreated, leading to years of bullying and abuse. Now, thanks to a team of American healthcare workers, including some from right here in Utah, these kids are being given a reason to smile.
Last night, we introduced you to a Davis County doctor who took his team to Vietnam for one of these rescue missions.
Tonight, we continue this exclusive series, and Good for Utah's Jason Wynn joins us now in the studio with more on his special report. Jason.
Yeah, on any given day, there are 800 to 1,000 patients that come through the doors of the National ENT Hospital of Vietnam. The emergency and operating rooms are very busy, but not too busy to keep some of the American medical professionals with the Help Us Give Smiles Foundation, or HUGS for short, from saving some Vietnamese children's lives. It's a hero's welcome.
This is the third time the HUD group come to our hospital.
Dr. Quan Va is grateful for this group of American medical professionals. He's the director of the National Ear, Neck, and Throat Hospital of Vietnam. He says much of the hospital's success is thanks to the HUGS team. It's also the reason 66 families filled the hallways on intake day.
When the American doctors comes, people know that, and they comes to the hospital more and more.
Just standing here, you can feel the excitement.
It's time to take you to surgery.
I'm getting hassled by the little kids right now because they want to go in and see their doctors so they can find out when they're going to get their microtia surgeries.
The Vietnamese doctor, now we cannot do the surgery for this anomaly, like microtia.
Microtia is a deformation of the ear. The surgery, it's very time-consuming, so each patient has to be evaluated. The doctors must remove part of the patient's rib to construct a new ear. It can take 2 or more operations to complete.
The amount of supplies that we bring is a several-week process. We have to make sure that they're all within expiration dates because it's not right to bring expired products to another country.
They're extremely expensive to run. We have to bring all of our own equipment, all of our own anesthesia supplies, our surgical supplies. We bring everything, and it's very expensive to fly with all that.
This trip cost roughly $40,000, and the doctors say it's worth every penny.
Because this institution has a residency program and physicians that are kind of doing the same specialty that we do, and we're kind of, in some ways, educating them and hopefully passing this on to them in the future, and maybe we won't need to come and do these missions.
This is the first time Dr. Scott Thompson from Davis County, Utah is working with Dr. Lin and his Vietnamese staff. But surprisingly, speaking different languages was not an issue.
Within 5 minutes, we're just working together, and we don't even have to talk at all because we just kind of understand the language of surgery and medicine.
Dr. Vito Quatella from Rochester, New York is the founder of HUGS. He says the language of giving crosses cultural barriers.
There's 5 to 7 people in every room that are just eager to learn, and one of them is going to emerge as, I want to be the microtia surgeon in Vietnam. And once they have 1 or 2, real like sharpshooters that do microtia, we're not needed here, and that'll feel really good.
The American staff even became students at times. Dr. Thompson learned a better way to put a retractor in a patient's chest.
And I thought, wow, that's exactly how we should do it, and I just started doing it that way from then on.
When all is said and done, this is a very rare procedure. In the United States, doctors may perform 2 a year. During Dr. Quatella's first visit to Vietnam, he found the people here are 3 times more likely to have an ear deformity than in any other country. To this day, no one understands why microtia happens.
It's maybe due to a genetic problem, or maybe due to the result of the chemistry problem from the Vietnamese War.
Did it start with the Vietnam War? These doctors can't know for sure, but they can only hope that the work they are doing is patching up this cultural divide, one stitch at a time.
The people are so warm. I mean, the same faces that were in the news that were the Viet Cong, so to speak, are really the dads of these kids. And they're like thrilled to have us. They're tearful.
Tearful because the tragedy of war still haunts these families. But now, these American doctors are replacing those fears with hope for the next generation.
I feel very happy because they are almost them. They are better than our generation. So this is very good.
The relationship between the American doctors and the Vietnamese doctors will continue to grow in Hanoi. There's a lot more work to be done before these doctors can do microtia surgeries on their own.
And you mentioned in your story that they want to teach these other doctors. Is there a timetable? How long will it take to teach them how to do it on their own?
Well, it shouldn't take long, a couple of years at that. The HUGS team says that they're going back to Vietnam every year, and they're busy medical professionals, and they go all over the world for these types of surgeries. So I've seen it for myself. I don't think it's going to take too long before these doctors are able to do this on their own.
All right, Jason, what's in store for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow we finally get to meet the patients. We get to see who these lives are changing. They're going into the family history. We follow a psychologist around. She goes into their family history so we can see why and how these kids are thrown out of their communities, their homes, why they're bullied so much. It's an amazing story. You just got to tune in tomorrow for.